All right, good morning, everybody. It is another fun catalog or a monthly announcement release date. Ryan and Dave here back at the news desk like old times.
It's us.
We've got Corey and Megan out on assignment, so we're holding down the anchor desk today.
Yeah.
Good to be back doing this again. We've got some great new announcements today in the O-Gauge world. So we'll go ahead and just jump right into it, please, and bring up the catalog here.
Part 2 of 3.
Part 2 of 3, absolutely. So this is our September release. And as we go ahead here, first thing I want to mention and toss out there is the Lenny Awards. If you've been on our social media, you've probably seen these posts. We've got a couple more weeks. We're taking the nominations through the end of this month. There are several good categories you can pick from. Favorite dealer, favorite influencer, so forth. There's favorite layouts, clubs. There's a lot of fun categories out there. And we hope that you're all nominating and voting. This is all about you, our friends and family and fans outside of the Lionel office in the world. We want to help highlight all the magic that you guys bring into the Lionel universe. So please nominate your favorites and then get ready for voting early in October.
I'm nominating you.
For what?
Best friend.
Aww. I don't think we're eligible.
Oh, okay.
All right. First up in the catalog, we have the return of the Legacy 080.
Whenever it gets there.
Whenever the computer that is, we're told, working perfectly fine and catches up to us, we'll
There
be
it
fine.
is.
Yay!
080.
080s. So we have not run this engine in a catalog since 2016. And since then, obviously, our legacy electronics have gone through one or two upgrades and changes. And you and the team put a lot of work into this one to add in some great new features and squeeze a lot out of this. You want to talk a little bit about the features?
Yeah, so this engine is going to be similarly set up as to our USRA 060 that we did not too long ago, where we're putting the bulk of the electronics in the tender. It just makes for more room for fitting the electronics, but that also gives us more space up in the boiler to put other features. And other features is always fun. I mean, if you have a swinging bell, that's always a favorite, right? And so it's a small engine that we can pack extra features into and for a reasonable price. So this is always an exciting one because, I'm personally a fan of small steam, and this one's just the goat.
It really is a goat. And a couple other things with this too, with the control boards in the tender, we were able to relocate a lot of the control switches up under the coal pile.
Yep.
Which is nice, so you don't have to flip the engine upside down. These will have the tethered drawbar, as we've done on all of our switchers for years. It just gives you that extra electrical pickup, which is really nice to have. We added the drop plate between the engine and tender, so that's a nice new feature.
Something we're kind of standardizing in legacy steam these days. That and switches up top somewhere.
And then what this didn't have in 2016, in addition to the Bluetooth and control, we have now added whistle steam and the swinging bell to this locomotive, which is really a cool feature. So we've got a lot packed into an 080. And I think one of the neat things about this locomotive, I should also mention, this is not the same 080 you see in our ready-to-run starter sets. This isn't just a pen flyer with a legacy board thrown in there. This is much more highly detailed engine with all the valve gear and everything else, all the detail you expect in legacy engine. And when we cataloged this back in 2016, the retail price was $899. So 10 years of inflation and tariffs and a lot of great new features added in, and we've really gone out of our way to try and hold the pricing as close to this as we can to get you all these features at the lowest price possible. I realize that it's still not cheap by any standards, but we are trying to give you your best value for the dollar that we can all across the board.
Yep. And the other great features like the 5 different whistles and the 5 bell pitch variations. It'll be a good little engine for an electric coupler. So.
Next up, we've got another run of our ET44s. This is new tooling from this year. It was started. The first run of these is wrapping up in production now and will be on its way to us very shortly.
Yeah, the pre-production samples look great.
They really do look great. Dave, you want to talk a little bit about some of the fun we had in doing this one?
I think a lot of the fun that we had, especially in audio, was you guys went and recorded a all new audio for this guy. You and our audio guy Tracy went up and recorded with CSX, right?
Yeah.
And got all new prime mover sounds, a new horn and bell, and all the other little, couplers and other sounds like that. So it's always nice to be able to bring a refreshed audio set to a brand new locomotive, and something that we're going to do in engines coming up in the next couple of years too. So we also added a lot more lighting features than your standard legacy diesels. So aside from just the standard lighting features you normally see, we've added walkway lights around the locomotive where prototypical, and then we have the couple of special lighting features. It's the DPU and LSL lights. Those are going to be controllable with the aux3 key. So a lot of new features in an all new tooled locomotive. And like Ryan said, the first run of these are on the way now, and excited to see the offerings for the next run, and kind of crazy to see an Area 51 version you threw in there. That's probably going to get some special sounds, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, we've had a lot of requests for an Area 51 locomotive or two to go with the rolling stock we've been doing over the years, and I figure this one will be a really fun one. All of the locomotives you see here have the Canadian National detail sets on them, which is quite a few specific details, not just lighting effects, but also road-specific details in the body itself. From vents and fans and things of that nature all over the place on it. And both of the Area 51 numbers will be powered. Then also for Canadian National, both of the veterans units, since they're two different numbers there, they'll both be offered full powered with full legacy. All of these do have the front and rear ditch lights, and they have the DPU light, the little red light above the right-hand ditch light on both ends that light up. In addition to all the other standard lighting features. And then we also have in powered and non-powered versions, each of the four ET44 Canadian National Heritage units for the EJ&E, BC Rail, Illinois Central, and Wisconsin Central. So this is the first time while we've done these, and I think others have done these on the ES44 bodies in the past. This is the first time those will all be available on the correct ET44 car body. And it should be really nice and some great colorful units there, and glad to see these coming out.
That's really orange.
It is really orange. It is a big orange. But hey, we kind of like that here.
We're orange too, yeah.
All right. Getting into the passenger section of our catalog, we are bringing back the E8s again this time around. Same great features you're used to on our legacy E units. As an AA set, both units are powered, both have smoke, both have all the lighting effects. The lead unit in the pairing has sounds. Road-specific details on these, including Mars lights, rooftop details, etc., all as appropriate. And lots of road names and many with matching passenger cars. One new thing about these is, for the first time, these will have the optional fixed front pilot.
Yep.
Something we're trying to start retrofitting on a lot of our diesels to make them, especially passenger engines, to give you that option there. First road name we have here is B&O and the National Limited. This is that late era B&O. One of their last paint schemes as the C&O merger was really being bantered around quite a bit. And so you've got the blue and silver, and then matching aluminum passenger cars in the blue, yellow, and silver paint scheme. Like all of the aluminum cars we've been doing again recently, and all the cars that you'll see here in the aluminum cars in the subsequent pages. These have aluminum bodies, detailed plastic interiors, including figures, flicker-free LED lighting, the new kinematic drawbars on the couplers. So they're all rated at an 054 curve for the passenger cars.
Yeah, the kinematics are always a nice touch on these because you can get more of a prototypical gap on straightaways, and then they really open up on the curves so that they can fit those tighter curves, because even 054 is pretty tight for these size cars, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So here we have a 4-pack that includes the baggage, coach, sleeper, and observation, an add-on 2-pack with another coach and the Stratodome, and then a Station Sounds Diner.
yep. And the Station Sounds Diner, similar to other of our new cars, will feature new legacy electronics that will incorporate the impact sensor. So you'll, trigger the impact sensor by coupling too hard or something like that, and you'll hear plates clattering and the crew telling you to be careful. So those kind of fun new features that we've been doing.
We're having a lot of fun with that impact sensor.
Yeah. I mean, people and crew and customers can get pretty irate when you bump into a car too hard.
All right. Next up in our tour of streamliners, we have the Old Dominion. This is it was actually a short-lived, probably not the best of known streamliners in the post-war era on the RF&P. They were much better known for their through passenger trains from New York and points north through Washington and then to Richmond and then on down south. But they got into the act a little bit in the late 1940s. And ordered a 5-car train set from American Car and Foundry, I believe, that was 4 coaches and a dining car called the Old Dominion. Really actually a pretty nice looking train in silver with dark blue and gold accents. And so we've added that here. If you want to do the prototypical train, you've got the 4 coaches in the 4-pack and then the Station Sounds Diner. And then for those who just want a more traditional toy train look for a streamliner, we threw in the baggage and observation car. Even though they never existed in the real train, we threw those as a 2-pack so you could create a nice, more uniform matched consist here. The train itself didn't last all that long, lasted a few years, but it was a really good looking train, and we thought it would look nice with what I always thought was really beautiful paint scheme on the RF&P's E units. And I think these would also look really great with the RF&P F19s that we released about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Because the train was actually originally hauled behind steam. So
And these are also the aluminum cars, right?
Also aluminum cars, and like the prototype, we put the full width vestibules or diaphragms on this one.
Nice.
So you had that solid tube look.
Tubular.
All right, the Orange Blossom Special.
I like this scheme.
This is a really cool scheme. This is the last paint scheme that the train wore, and despite the fame of the train, the Blossom never got streamlined. It stayed a heavyweight train its entire life. It was really designed to lure people out of the Northeast down to Florida in the winter for nice warmer climates. And so we decided to go with because it's such a unique paint scheme, to go with that last paint scheme with the very pale green and red on the seaboard engines, and then of course heavyweight cars. So you'll have 3 different 2-packs and a Station Sounds Diner here as well. Again, like our other 18-inch heavyweights, these cars will include figures on the interiors.
It's too bad they didn't have Bud cars, and they really could have blossomed.
Oh boy.
Was that too much of a stretch?
Leave the dad jokes to me.
Okay, I'll wilt.
All right, the Louisiana Eagle. So here we have something a little bit different. The Texas and Pacific ordered both F units and E units for passenger service, and they often found that a pair of E units was more power than they needed or wanted on some of their smaller passenger trains, like the Louisiana Eagle. So they would pair one of each. We don't know that we've ever really done this pairing before, but there was no reason not to. So we thought we'd give this a shot. You've got an E8 and an F7 here, both in the T&P's passenger scheme. And then, as often also got mixed in there, we have a super base F7B unit as well. And this has the non-powered, but has the great extra bassy sounds that we've been putting in these locomotives. So you could run this as an ABA, or if you're a T&P guy, you could get them and break them up and run them in a variety of different capacities. Lots of photos of these engines in freight service too. They kind of used them wherever they felt like. But the passenger scheme on the Texas Pacific and Missouri Pacific, really classy, fun paint scheme, and wanted to offer it in this versatile configuration. In this set, the E8 will have the sounds. The F unit will be powered, but no sounds on here. And then we've got aluminum passenger cars to go with, a 4-pack that includes a baggage car, coach, and 2 sleepers. Another 2-pack with an add-on sleeper and a dome car, and then the Station Sounds Diner here as well. No observation in this set. The TMP didn't have any, so we wanted to stay more, again, prototypical in the consist. But that'll make a really sharp train.
Yep. And just as a reminder, the locos all have front electrocouplers and dummies on the rear. The dummies allow us to put a shorter gap in there so the locomotives are closer together, looking more realistic.
Yeah, good call. All right, another F and E combo here, the BN Executive Train. I always loved this paint scheme. I thought it was one of the sharpest executive schemes out there. It was short-lived. It showed up in 91, 92 on the first 2 F units. And of course, by 95, we had BNSF. So it only had a few years on the rail, but this paint scheme also inspired the SD80 MACs. It's that real rich dark green and cream color with the red accents. Good looking set of locomotives. They started off with an AB set of F9s that were rebuilt, and then later added BN3, an E9 that I think came out of the Chicago commuter pool as they were retiring those. And so like the prototype, you can run the ABA of FF and E here. We'll put the sounds in the A unit on this one, since most of the time it was the one leading here, but both are powered and you can certainly run them separately if you'd like. I think all 3 of these are now at IRM, Illinois Railway Museum, and still around. And we wanted to do some matching passenger cars as well. So we've got the 4-pack with the baggage and sleepers, another sleeper and dome car in the 2-pack, and the Station Sounds Diner for the BN Executive Train.
Yeah, just BN, FBB, E and F units, OMG.
All right, we've got some additional E8s. We don't have any matching passenger cars for these 3 in this catalog, but yeah, we've done a few in the not too distant past, or have maybe some more coming in the not too distant future. So we've got a pair of Pence's in the original as delivered dark green with gold pinstripes, and then Wabash in their paint scheme, and then Canadian Pacific as well. So 3 really nice, colorful units here that will go great on your railroad.
You got the train phone there on the
train phone on the Pency, of course. All right, the SD80 MAC. We have not run this one in a while either.
Big Mac.
Big Macs. These are the full-scale legacy SD80 MACs. These are not the Lion Master versions. And we will be doing these with the larger scale proportion fuel tanks as well. I think this might be the first time we've done the 80s with the big tanks. We've done the 90s, but I don't think we hit the 80s since we regularized that.
These have the dual speaker.
These will have a dual speaker in them. Yep. These have working ditch lights as well as the marker lights in the front. Smoke, of course, full legacy and Bluetooth control. If you're a Conrail fan, you want all of these, and at least all the blue ones. So we've got 2 road numbers each for Conrail, CSX, Norfolk Southern, and then the 2 EMD demonstrators, which did tour the country a good bit. For the CSX units, I like to call it out. I don't think any 2 of these engines on CSX were repainted exactly the same. Norfolk Southern had a lot of paint varieties as well. But the 804 was kind of unique. They actually numbered it 0804. So we recreated that here on the engine. 806 is just 806. Mm-hmm. But that's a fun one. So yeah. Anything you want to add on the 80 Macs?
That just makes me want a Big Mac. Hungry now.
Okay, into the rolling stock section here. 3 new cars. These are really fun pieces. They're simple cars, but they have a fun story to tell. These use aluminum bodies. We've got the Southern and then later Norfolk Southern exhibit cars. The NS car is still very much around. It's, I think, actually in Spencer right now. It's been there for a few years. And these traveled the system with a bunch of displays inside. They would send them to museums, to public fairs and outings, conventions, any place that had rail access and could request the car. And public could tour and see exhibits. The NS car includes a cab simulator. So lots of lots of fun interactive things, a great public relations tool for the railroad. So you've got the modern Norfolk Southern livery on this, and then that great, just screams 1960s, 70s, Southern paint scheme. And then, not to be outdone, we've got one for the Union Pacific as well. This was done up in gold paint with there's really actually a lot of nice little trim and highlights on this that are harder to see in the art. But this was done for the centennial of the Golden Spike in 1969. That car is still around as well, though not in quite as good a shape. Still waiting some restoration out in Utah. But 3 very neat cars, very neat paint schemes. These have the aluminum bodies, all of our other standard features of aluminum cars, like the die-cast trucks and so forth. These cars do not have interiors because there's no windows, there's nothing to see, and so consequently also no interior lighting. Again, nothing to see here. So that helped us keep the cost down a little bit more on them as well, which was nice, but we were able to offer them with a nice aluminum body.
And these will still have the kinematic couplers.
Yes. And then for some interesting freight cars, we've got 3 flat cars with auto frame loads in new road names. We did one of these in the Detroit assembly line set we showed in July. So these could go well with that, or anywhere else you want to run them for that matter. This is our standard scale die-cast flat car with a wood deck, and then the loads themselves are injection molded and stacked up there. So it makes for an interesting piece, but not as interesting, I think, as the 2 we have below there. Our refrigerated car in transit loads. Maybe it's been wreck damage and going to the car shop. Maybe they're old cars going to a museum for display and restoration. You come up with the story, but it's a neat load. I've seen this a couple times in real life. Thought it would be fun to add an old car on a new car in transit load. The flat cars come with all the same great standard features. The 2 reefer cars there are our Lion scale woodside reefer tooling. They're complete cars with everything except the trucks. So if you wanted to, you could order some 50-ton Lion scale trucks through our parts department and slap them on the bottom of these, and you get a second car out of the deal.
Nice.
But the artist did a really great job adding a fun weathered effect to the wood sides on these cars. They really do look nice. And although the flat car itself isn't weathered, the effect on the reefers really turned out great. Some more of our Lion scale freight. We've got more 3-bay AAR hoppers coming here. These are available in 2 3-packs and 1 single car each for each of these 6 road names. So we've got Santa Fe, Bessemer, Central of Georgia, Lackawanna, Missouri Pacific, and Pittsburgh and Lake Erie here in this round. 7 numbers total. All the cars are identical except for the road number changes. So if you're building a unit train, you've got a great jump on that. If you just want a single car or maybe just 3 cars to add into on a smaller layout, we've got those options here too for you. The cars come unloaded, but we do have our new molded one-piece hopper loads for these 3-bay cars that drop right in and look really great. So if you want to add loads, it's not that expensive and really easy to do so.
Yeah, I believe those were in the last catalog, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those have now delivered. So although we don't show them in every catalog, it's an active item and you can always order. All right, so more of our Lion scale woodside reefers. So again, like all of our Lion scale cars, these are scale size, a little bit less detailing, some separately applied, but not quite as much separately applied as our category 26 or our high-end scale freight cars, but scale proportioned. They'll look great with your other scale trains. We've got 6 new road names here, again, all with 2 road numbers each. A lot of these harkening to those classic billboard era cars. Some real fun here. We've also got some prototypical ones. We've got the Houston and Texas Central, which was an SP predecessor. So I wanted to throw that one in there for you. And then we've got the doggy dinner. I think that one's my favorite. You may have to get me one of those doggy dinner cars. I don't know why. Just fun.
Just cause.
I mean, we put everything else in reefers. Why not dog food?
Yeah, these were good for putting graphics up on the side, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a whole ton of different kinds back in the day.
Yeah. So these are these are always fun to add into them.
They'll also look pretty good weathered.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. If you enjoy weathering rolling stock, these would be a fun
custom
one.
weather jobs on those are always good.
All right, the LionChief Plus 2.0 060T. This one comes up every few years, and it's always a hit. We talk about packing a lot into a small package at a reasonable price. I think this one always sort of hits it out of the park. Dave, do you want to talk a little bit about the fun on this one?
It's one of my favorite little steam engines we do. It is a scale locomotive, and it does have our LC 2.0 electronics in it. We had to make a custom smoke unit, and this does have front and rear electrocouplers that we also had to make custom for this locomotive. So it's a lot of feature packed into a very tiny engine, and one that comes with a good price point if you're looking to get into command control with the Bluetooth and the different whistle and bell options. And it also lets you do a lot of different paint schemes, because I'm pretty sure a lot of railroads had 060Ts back in the day. So I know that I had to sneak my way into talking about the SP version and getting the green and the number, where I wanted it personally. Not that I have any inside scoop or anything, but yeah, this is always an exciting little loco, and a heavy little thing too, because it is all die cast.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of this is it's scale size. It's a prototypically sized engine. It's just a small prototype. So it looks right whether you're running it with a scale PS1 boxcar or a traditional piece of rolling stock. It fits nicely into both of those worlds. As you said, it's all die cast. You got a lot of power in it. Just a lot of great features in a compact engine.
And it will pull a good few number of cars, even though it's a small loco with a little motor. I mean, the extra weight from the die cast really does help it get traction to pull, 4 or 5 cars, no problem.
And in addition to the Southern Pacific, which does really look sharp with that green boiler, I have to admit, we've got Central of Georgia, U.S. Navy, Union Pacific, and Canadian National here on this round. Nice. So lots of good options there. All right, covering the traditional world here. We've got some new full-length dome cars in our traditional space. These were all done to match some of our sets and recent production that we've done in some of our other road names in the last year or so. These blend in perfectly with all of our other 13-inch passenger cars. So you've got the Texas Special there that goes along with one of our great constantly recurring sets. Christmas, Union Pacific, and Pennsylvania. Again, they all match those cars that came out about a year ago. So if you want to expand your fleet, it's a great way to do it. This full dome tooling is not that old. I think we did this maybe a year or two ago also.
Yeah, it was not long ago.
I've released it in Santa Fe and maybe one other road name. So it's nice to see this getting some more love in the catalog and some more deco schemes applied. These are illuminated. They have molded interior up in the dome.
With the flicker-free illumination.
Yeah, really nice traditional cars. And then our next piece is one that actually came from a reader comment and a letter that was mailed in to us. That one has some potential. It's been a while since we've done the Bluetooth speaker, and putting it in the rolling stock was kind of a neat combination. So 2 different deco operations here. One sort of a very simple, discrete Lionel Lines version if you just want to sneak it into a train, and then the second one with the loud graffiti, sort of music inspired graffiti on that one, to sort of hint at what's going on inside. But with a Bluetooth speaker, you can play whatever sounds your heart desires through here. So whether it's music or background noise, train sounds,
this show,
yeah, run the podcast through there. It could be a really fun piece. Dave, anything you want to talk about in terms of the technology and the Bluetooth speaker and how everything works?
As long as you have a device that's able to connect to Bluetooth, this will work for you. Everything from Apple and Android smartphones to tablets, and even Bluetooth-equipped PCs can connect to Bluetooth. And with the latest Bluetooth technology, it has a lot better range than the older Bluetooth technology used to have. So you could probably run this anywhere on your layout and keep Bluetooth signal. So it's a good way to add customized sounds into your consist without having to, open the thing up and program it or worrying about anything like that. So It's our first rehit of a Bluetooth speaker thing since we did the radio tower 7 years ago or so. It's been a long time. So excited to see this one come back, and excited to see where else we'll be using this technology, because I have a feeling it's not going to be just in boxcars.
No, it might also be in a music store.
What? That was fast.
We're also doing another stationary accessory, Cowan's Bluetooth music store here. This will also have the same Bluetooth speaker inside, so you can connect to it. This is plug, expand, play, so you just connect it right in with your track, and all of your wiring is done. You'll also have interior illumination and the illumination on the giant guitar sign out front, along with the great graphics on this one. So really fun piece that you can nestle into your downtown. And again, you could have music sounds coming out of this. You could also just have city sounds or whatever else. If you've got a child who's learning how to play the tuba, record that and stream it coming out with the music lessons in here. It could be real fun. If you have a child learning to play the tuba, you probably need to have some fun and go down to the basement and run your trains. So no offense to all the tuba players out there. You can send now we've got also another fun storefront here with the sports collectible store. Wanted to add that one is also interior illumination and plug, expand, play on this one too. And then our last two items in this release, we've got two printed and assembled in the USA boxcars. I'll point out that for most of the items you've seen us talk about today, as usual for any release that we announce in the second half of the year, we typically expect those to deliver sometime in the first half or so of the following year. These two cars are already slotted for production in-house in our room here in North Carolina for delivery by the end of this year. So these last two items you should see here later this fall, early winter. Certainly for the Wings of Angels Christmas car in time for the Christmas holidays. This is the second year we've done the Christmas holiday car in that series with that license. And then for all of our Boston and Maine fans, it's the 190th anniversary of the Boston and Maine this year. And so we've got a special commemorative boxcar for that as well. You've got some fun rooftop printing on both of these. The Boston and Maine car features different graphics on both sides with 4 different historical images. So a lot of fun putting that one together. If you're a B&M fan, you'll definitely want to add that one into your collection. So lots of great new items for September. The order window for these is only about 4 weeks long. We will be back about this time next month with some more new great announcements. So if you see anything here you like, reach out to your favorite Lionel dealer, place your pre-orders. As I said, we hope to have most everything you see in this catalog will deliver sometime in 2026, preferably towards the first part of the year. Our Musa cars towards the end of this year. Lots more good things to come as we head into train season full speed. We hope you're all out there doing well. Dave, any final thoughts?
Choo-choo.
Dave is thrilled.
I'm steaming.
All right. Thank you all for joining in with us today. As always, stay tuned with Lionel's social media channels for all the latest and greatest updates. Don't forget to nominate your friends for the Lenny Awards, and we'll see you down the track.
Bye.